Welcome to the Simulator Battles Vehicle Overview. A place where I will try my best to play a vehicle and explain the basics of it in Air Sim in the best way possible. Today's aircraft is the Mirage 2000D-R1. Now this aircraft in itself is very much incredible. Let's begin with the cockpit layout and the HUD system that the Mirage 2000D-R1 has. This will be your engine RPM indicator. If you turn on your engine, this entire section will move. So keep an eye on this one when you're playing Sim. On the bottom left of it you have the engine temperature indicator. You have your clock on the far right, and on this part you should have a fuel consumption indicator, both in digital and analog, but sadly this one does not want to work. You have your speed and altitude indicator, and this globe is your attitude indicator, and this shows how much G you are pulling. Again, you have your flight stick, your rudders, and your acceleration lever. You have two MFDs, which the center one will show your radar, and the left one will show you the map. And then you have the bottom left side of the front panel of your cockpit, which is the most fun and important part of your vehicle. So you have these 5 lines, 4 of them are horizontal and 1 of them is vertical. This pretty much shows your situations on the elevons and the rudder. For example, the inner elevons. When you turn left, this happens. When you turn right, this happens. When you yank the rudder left to right, this will happen. And, basically if you experiment with it in the test drive, you will realize what I'm talking about. Up next, this part, which at least to my opinion is one of the most important panels you can possibly have on this aircraft. First off, you might see 3 green lights. These are your gear indicators. If your gears are retracting or extracting, this tiny rectangle will turn red and will indicate the fact that your gear operation is still in process. These 2 rectangles that are shown with an A and F are basically your air brake indicators. If your air brake is on, these 2 rectangles will turn on. Apparently it should be some sort of a warning system as well, like fire and stuff, but I'm not sure if Gaijin has actually implemented that because I don't die in this thing. I'm immortal. Now that I've explained everything on the cockpit, let's head on towards the gun sight that this Mirage has. Generally, this gun sight is found on multiple Mirage aircraft, including the Mirage 2000 series, the Mirage 4000, the Super Étendard, and the Mirage F1 CT, and overall most modern modern French aircraft do actually have this thing. This will be your horizon line, and these lines that have a 90 degrees dent upwards and downwards basically show the horizontal angles with 5 degrees increments. You have the cannon ammo indicators. You have the G indicator, which tells you how much G you're pulling. You have your gun sight and its trajectory indicator, which both of their values will change once you lock on the enemy target using its radar. You have your speed indicator, both shown in knots and in Mach values. You have your horizontal compass or whatever, which basically tells you where the hell you're going. You have your altitude indicators shown in feet, both at sea level and current altitude relative to the ground. Then you have this, which shows the center nose of your aircraft. Now you might have noticed there are 2 arrows around this gun sight. These basically show you how much acceleration your aircraft is currently having. If these 2 arrows pointing at the center of this guy, well then your aircraft generally is not gaining nor losing speed. If these 2 arrows aim a bit higher than this center indicator, then you're gaining speed, and if these 2 arrows are a bit down relative to the center indicator, it basically shows that you're losing speed. And if you fire your guns, you will realize that it will interfere with your acceleration and gives you this very fun effect, which honestly I find it really cool. Now when you lock something with your camera pod or your radar, a square will appear on your target. The range of the target is identified relative to you, and most importantly, this number. So this number basically shows how much acceleration you have relative to the target that you're locking. If it's on the negative, then you're getting away from the aircraft, and if it's on the positive, it means that you're getting closer to the aircraft. This will be your missile gimbal indicator. If your missile seeker is on, your sight will identify your gimbal and it shows it as a circle. If your lock is confirmed, your circle will have an extra layer around it. If you're locking the aircraft with the radar, it will show you how much distance you got relative to the aircraft in front of you. Now, of course, we have pretty much a sight indicator for every single CCIP you got, but unfortunately, it is currently bugged and the laser indicator sometimes does not work with bombs and cannons. It's always flickers and it's kinda annoying. And, you know, it's basically pretty much it. Experiment with a gun sight on the Mirage and you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Alright, now let's take off and have some fun with this beast. Alright, let's just put it in automatic leveling and there we go. Okay, so let me just explain this entire aircraft in a very simplified manner. This is an 11.3 aircraft with 12.0 flight performance. The armaments are pretty nice, but this aircraft is mostly focusing on ground striking capabilities than air-to-air missiles and aerial combat, compared to the other Mirage 2000 variants. But again, despite this fact, it is still one of the most dangerous aircraft at this BR. Fun fact, when you get this vehicle, you will have 2 stock Magic 2s, but no guns at all, which gives it a very awkward gameplay, but at the same time, it is very fun and interesting one. Once you pass forward from the missiles, you'll get different types of weaponry, such as bombs, guided munitions, and most importantly, a cannon pod at the center with 600 ammo. Overall, it gives a very good vibe when you try to play this vehicle, and flight performance-wise, this thing is absolutely incredible. Your acceleration might not be that great at the beginning, but once you get at higher speeds, it is pretty much becomes unstoppable. Which, to my famous quotes, I always say, it just does not want to stop. You have to stop it. And overall, the turning ability of the Mirage in general is pretty unique as well. You see, each aircraft that has a delta wing design, you know, like the Kafirs or the Gripens or Vigans, have their own flight characteristics. The Mirage 2000 is just simply incredible. The damping limits the aircraft to 9 or 10 Gs all the time. Even at manual control, you don't pull that much higher either. And then you do things most of the delta wings do. Bleed energy. But for some reason, I don't know why, the Mirage 2000 maintains its energy just better than other delta wings such as Kafirs or Vigans. I mean, sure, it does not regain it as good as the Kafir, but I have to say, this Mirage does not disappoint at its maximum speed of 512 kilometers as well. Like, my god, you are psychopathically fast as well, to the point that even MiG-21s and Tomcats will become food to you. And overall, this aircraft is very much incredible and I just love it. This was all the pros that this aircraft has.
Hello, Mr. Dickinson. I sincerely apologize for our, well, sudden presence. Unfortunately, we believe your channel might be the perfect tool for us to secure our assets overseas. It may not be temporary, but I will promise, sooner than later, you will be